right, so again, we're going to begin solving and graphing inequalities. The first thing we need to do is make sure that we know what each symbol means, okay? So of course, we have the following. This symbol, inequality, this is greater than. This symbol is less than. This symbol is greater than or equal to. Greater than or equal to. Or equal to. And this symbol is less than or equal to. Okay, so now these are the symbols that we're going to see when we're solving and graphing inequalities. Remember, inequalities work the same way as far as solving as equations. We separate the inequality by splitting it down the symbol. Then we isolate the variable by using the opposite operation. Okay, for example, if we have the following. We have Q minus 4 is less than 2. Q minus 4 is less than 2. So we split the inequality. We have to isolate the variable Q. It's Q minus 4. So on both sides, we have to use the inverse operation. So we're adding 4 to both sides. When we add 4 to both sides, on the left side we have Q is less than 6. So this literally means that Q is any number less than 6. Okay. To make this inequality true, Q is going to be any number that is less than 6. Okay. Another example that we're going to see is the following. W plus 13 is greater than 50. Okay, so we have W plus 13 is greater than 50. Of course, we split the inequality down the symbol. We're adding 13 to the variable, so on both sides we have to subtract 13 from both sides. Okay, once we subtract, we're left with W is greater than, and once we subtract, we regroup here, that's 4, that's 1, 7, 3. So that means W is any number greater than 37. Okay. All right. So are there any questions so far? All right. So we'll keep going. All right. I'll leave this example here. So now we have 42 is greater than or equal to minus 18. Okay, now this one is a little different. And we have to make sure we pay very close attention. Since m is on the right side of the inequality, our answer is going to be different. And I'm going to show you why, okay? We're going to split the inequality down the center. Since we're subtracting 18 from both sides, since we're subtracting 18 from m, we're going to add 18 on both sides. All right. And when we add 18 on both sides, our inequality is going to read, when we add, that's 0, raise your 1, that's 60. So that means 60 is greater than or equal to m. But we can rearrange this so that we have m first. When we rearrange this inequality, we have to switch the symbol. So that means that m is any number that is less than or equal to 60. Okay? Because this statement is true. That means 60 is greater than or equal to m. That means m is less than or equal to 60. So that means m is any number that is greater than or equal to 60. Okay. All right. So now let's look at another example before we begin graphing. All right. 12 is less than or equal to Q divided by 2. Okay. So now, of course, we split the inequality. Since we're dividing Q by 2, we're going to multiply 2 on both sides. All right. So that means we have 24 is less than or equal to Q. And we can rearrange this statement so that Q is first in our inequality. So that means Q is greater than or equal to 24. Okay. So that means Q, and I can write this out as a statement, is any number greater than or equal to 24. Okay. Are there any questions so far?
No.
All right. So now let's look at graphing. And we're going to use the examples that we've already went over. So I'm going to write graphing inequalities. All right, graphing inequality. So if we have the following, Q is greater than 6. So now here we're going to draw a number line. At 6, I'm going to have an open circle because Q is greater than 6. I'm sorry, Q is less than 6. I'm sorry, that's less than. Less than. So Q is less than 6, so that means Q is any number that is less than 6. So that means all numbers that are less than 6, and that means it keeps going like that, okay? If I have the following, W is greater than 37 on my number line, where 37 is, I'm going to have an open circle, because that means W is greater than 37, okay? And that means W is going to be any value that is greater than 37, okay? Now, remember, if it's less than or greater than, it's going to be an open circle, okay? But if I have the following, let me raise my journal up. M is greater than, I'm sorry, less than or equal to 60. That means where 60 is on the number line, my circle is going to be closed because it is greater than or equal to. So remember, when we were graphing equations, it was one single dot because it was equal to, but now we have to add the less than part. So here we're going to graph all numbers that are greater than, I'm sorry, less than or equal to 60. So this is what the graph is going to look like, okay? And similarly, if we have Q is any number that is greater, now this is greater than or equal to 24. Remember, less than or equal to, closed circle. So that means greater than or equal to will also have a closed circle on the number line. So at 24, it's going to be closed circle. And then I have to graph all values that are greater than 24. Okay? So this is greater than or equal to 24. All right?